Good evening, one. Good evening, all in YouTube world. And if you're listening, obviously on the podcast, hello to you as well. Alex is here. He's not the invisible man tonight. He's set his camera up, but I've no idea where he's gone. So he'll be back in his chair very shortly, I would imagine. So what we'll do is, before Alex gets here, we'll go through a few comments, and of course, thank you to everybody that watched the earlier video. Regarding the disrespect that I think Newcastle United are getting. I know I'm not the only one who feels like that. A lot of people have been making comments about the media bias towards just saying, oh, Tottenham, instead of actually saying how good we were. There's a lot of overseas channels and overseas media done a lot on Newcastle and said how good we've been. However, over here, it's not the same, unfortunately. It's all about how crap Spurs were. But Billy, I guess this is something we've got to get used to. Oh, he's there. Yeah, he's there. Billy, I guess it's something we've got to get used to over the coming years, isn't it? Just the bias will always be there.
No, I'm not sure it will. I think once we establish ourselves as one of that top six and one of the so-called big six now drop out of it, I think we'll take their place. I don't think it's a forever thing. But right. The press are kind of, the fact we are geographically situated so far northeast in the country puts a little bit of a disadvantage, because obviously there's a northwest, south, London basically bias in the press. We've got to go aware with that. But I think once we become an established team and start winning trophies year in, year out, then they're going to have to take notice of us. They can't just say, it's everyone else is doing bad and just us doing good. It suits their agenda at the minute, but sooner or later it's going to change.
Yeah, Alex, nice of you to join us, my man. I mean, considering you were the one that changed the time of this show, and you and your quiff just decide to come on now. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Jimmy Jones, thank you for your $4.99. He says, "You have Sunderland, we have Tottenham. Thank you." You're very welcome, Jimmy. Of course, Jimmy's our resident.
Next year, Jimmy.
Absolutely, yeah. Alex05, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, ideally we sign Declan Rice, Diaby and Theo Hernandez, but I somehow don't think that will happen. Well, we'll just have to see, won't we? Guys, usual rules. If you do enjoy the show tonight, please do hit that like button for us and help us stay up there on the search results on good old YouTube. And also, if you're new, please do hit that subscribe button. Very, very close to 19,000 subscribers. I think we're only about 110 or something away now. Or maybe it's 210 actually. Yes, if my maths are right, but we're close. So hopefully we'll get there sooner rather than later. And of course, hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or upload. And like Jimmy and Alex have already done, if you'd like to donate to the channel tonight, hit that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. It really does help us as a channel, but it also means that you get guaranteed to get your comment read out. So there you have it. PD Suave says, one for Stato to look at. Yankuba Messi Minte linked to us yesterday in the press. 18-year-old Gambian left-footed winger currently playing for Odense in Denmark.
But he wasn't linked yesterday. He was linked about a week ago by some like Danish pages, people. It's eventually made its way to the mainstream press. So sometimes in your nose. It's not the right phrase. In the have I got? Oh no, I've not got the in the nose shirt on. This is the Wembley shirt on.
You've got the living dream, yeah.
Yeah, we may or may not have a look at him today. I've not quite done enough scouting on him yet, and I want to make, so there are the options.
Go on, has he?
Well, Troll says he wants to. Troll says he wants to come to us. So
yeah, I've seen that reported too.
If I'm going to put my fingers up at the people that say I don't know what I'm talking about, I need to actually do my research and make sure I know what I'm talking about. And with this player, I prefer to do a bit more digging for for the next transfer show. Where there's the people we're talking about today, I've actually had a look at. I've gone and watched. So, I feel like I've got a bit more, sauce.
Scope, shall we say, Alex? Scoop. Big right hand. Good evening to you. All NUFC milking it with the tube videos, but I love it. Yes, they are actually. Yeah, the club themselves. Fez is in the house. Why wouldn't you if you were the club? But listen, on my earlier video, I did state that I thought it was embarrassing for Tottenham Hotspur to offer the refund to the away fans. And I'll tell you why, right? I find it kind of off. You buy your tickets for a football match and, it comes what may. Win, lose, or draw. You bought your ticket. You can't buy a football ticket and expect your team to be superb every day. I know Tottenham was shit, but we made them look shit. We blew them away in the first 20 minutes. So I don't subscribe to this refund the money to the fans. I think that downgrades our performance as well. Saying, we were useless, we didn't turn up kind of thing. I think it has a knock-on effect. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid, and it doesn't set a good precedent for the future. We as Newcastle fans, yeah, 2 seconds, Billy. We as Newcastle fans have been absolutely hung, drawn, and quartered on some of our away trips when we've been absolutely gubbed left, right, and centre. But have we got ticket refunds? No. So I don't agree with it. Go on, Billy.
This is quite important. Just looking at it slightly alternatively.
Mm-hmm.
The furore and chaos Spurs cause with our takeover. Just think how painful that is for them to indirectly give us money. Just think about it. Their fans have paid for them tickets at St James's Park. They're refunding their tickets to the fans. So indirectly, they're giving us all that money. How much would Daniel Levy hate that? I think it's great.
He will hate it, obviously, but I just think it doesn't set a good precedent for future. If Tottenham go away and get hammered again, does that mean they can turn around and demand the money back? It's not right for me. Early starters up the A1 was getting ready for Fan Forum when saw this pop up. Wonder what potentials we have tonight. Yeah, well, we decided to go with the transfer show because I think coming into the summer. Certainly, some of the players that are mentioned in the press, etc. We have to push the more important stuff through. I guess not that the fan forum isn't important for you guys to have your say, but I think a lot of people like the transfer shows and like talking about what could be in the summer and get excited.
Well, it's more. A lot of the recent players we're talking about. As I said, if anybody watched last night's show, I mean, if you haven't, you go back and watch that as well. But at the end of last night's show, I said we've got quite a lot of scouts. Like, this is confirmed. We've got scouts watching players in certain parts of Europe at the moment. We've got scouts in Madrid. And this isn't in the know. This is it's quite easy. Oh, that guy's employed by the club. He is a scout. He's in this city.
Yeah. It's
not that difficult to work out. It's not an in the know thing. It's just the scouts travel and they do their job. So that gives us a bit more scope to, it doesn't make it a real link, but it gives it a bit more substance than if it's linked in, the Sun or something. So
we have signed, of course, the 18-year-old goalkeeper signed from Ireland. So we are building with the youngsters as well. Very important that we do that, Jack. We keep the academy going as well.
Yeah, because they're a big prospect for the future, and we've got the likes of we've got a lot of young talent in the youth squad as well. And then once some players in the current starting 11 move on, then we've got them to bring in as well, which will be a huge prospect in the future.
Yeah. Look, I've seen a couple of comments saying that, Man United fans saying how poor Spurs were. I would absolutely laugh my arse off if Spurs turn the Manx over on Thursday night or whenever they play. Honestly, it would be so funny because they're full of themselves at the minute, obviously. But, lucky for me to beat Brighton in the cup final. As usual, the scrape through. It's all about the luck with Manchester United. It really is. Fernandez rolling around the floor again in the referee's face constantly. Something's got to be done about him. I would go all that Kalina referee. Is that what he was called? Kalina? Was it Kalina?
Italian, yeah.
The Italian one, yeah.
I would go all out Kalina on him and just smack him one in the face. Just make sure it was my last ever game before I retire and just belt them. Stiff Gator says it's all clicks and views. How gives the media nothing and we just go about our business? No controversy, which for the media is boring. Negativity sells more than positivity. Spurs capitulation sells. Obviously it does sell, but at the same time, you know, if the rules were reversed, right, and Spurs thumped us 6-1, do you think they'd be talking about how poor Newcastle were? I'm not sure there would be. I think they'd be talking about if the same 20 minutes happened and it was Spurs doing that to us. I'm not so sure that the radio stations will be talking about how bad Newcastle were. It would all be how wonderful Spurs were. And I think we all know that. So if the rules were reversed for me, it wouldn't make a damn difference. Ian says Alex has been bouffanting his hair. Interesting, bouffanting. Geordie boy, thank you for your £5 super chat. Paul, they travelled all this way to the frozen north once a season. It's not like our fans make multiple visits down south in vast numbers. Exactly. Ian says, anyone gotten tickets for the pre-season games? Well, they're in America, so if you're not travelling over there, then we'll move on from that. Barbara says, good evening, Paul, Billy, Alex, and Jack. Very interesting show ahead, I'd imagine. Geordie says, Jimmy Jones, I think Rice might stay another season with you. Nah, I can't see. I don't care how well West Ham finish or whether they win the Conference League European competition. He'll be off. If he stays, right, I'll eat an aluminium can on camera. Right, there's no way he is staying at West Ham.
We don't condone that behaviour, by the way, guys.
No, we don't.
Don't try that at home.
Unless you've got metal teeth. Geordie B says Steve Bruce is available for Tottenham as long as they've got a Greggs and a pot of money in case it doesn't work out. Well, I've just seen the reports saying that Pochettino, Alex, is about to take the reins at Chelsea, apparently.
I mean, that's not surprising.
It's not surprising?
Why would it be surprising?
Well, because of his Tottenham links, that's all.
Well, not.
I think the Spurs fans were hoping he was going back there.
Look, if the dynamic in Spurs had have changed, if maybe there was a different owner, but nothing's changed since he's left that. If anything, they've gotten worse with the structure of the club and how they've run. If he were to go back there, he's thinking, right, I've got great training facilities, stadium, etc., but long-term plan for the club, sort of academy, just generally, you look at it from a footballing perspective as a mid to long-term plan. You're thinking, where is this going? Yeah. And then when you also factor in that he's also abandoned him once, I argue that Poch should have just been given, he's had an off season, let him stay. He's got credit in the bank. See if he can sort it out the following year, and if he can't, then get rid of him. I think that's done and dusted, and I think Poch is a good manager. Is ready for another good challenge. I think Chelsea's a bit of a bit of a chaotic pot for anybody to go into at the moment. But
is it as chaotic behind the scenes as what Tottenham is? That's the thing, because Tottenham behind the scenes is a big mess.
The problem is they've recruited, right, Tottenham have recruited well, but poorly at the same time. This is the issue. They've got a lot of people who will say, these players are crap, Dyer's crap, this guy's crap, Porro's crap. They're not. They're excellent footballers. They've been played completely out of position, in the wrong tactic, in the wrong shape, with the wrong instructions, with the wrong pairings, with poor confidence for such a long period of time.
Alex, I can't agree with you on Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer
he's not a bad player. Well, is he somebody who's going to consistently get to your club to the top four? Possibly not. Is he a Premier League standard player? Of course he is. Of course he's a Premier League standard player. You said he's championship quality. I mean, that's nonsense. I
don't think he's championship quality. No. But, I just don't think he's a good footballer. I don't think
Pedro Porro was the cream of the crop wing backs in the world recently, and he's gone from this is one of the better pickups for wing backs you could get on the market to, oh my god, this guy's atrocious. That doesn't happen overnight.
Well, a lot of the fans said since he's been here, he's good going forward, isn't he?
He's a wing back, but it's a culmination of 20, 30, 40, 50 bad decisions, whether it's tactically, managerially, coaching staff, this, that. It's And Chelsea's different. Chelsea has just got it's just got a rich kid in a toy shop at the moment. And I'm a little bit scared for Poch because I like him as a manager. And I think this could give him a stain on his career. I think it's more likely he fails than he succeeds at Chelsea because of how difficult that must be to manage 40-odd squad players, the majority of which all think they're good enough to play in that first team. How do you manage that?
Well, exactly.
He must have made assurances that he wouldn't want any more new players to come in through the door, surely, because there's no way Chelsea can spend any more money.
Or he's been told that they're having a big clear out, and there will be funds available to bring in a couple more players. I mean, the
players
still don't have a striker.
Ridiculous prices, isn't it? He wants 80 million for Mason Mount.
Don't worry. When João Felix's loan finishes, they get Nkunku through, which is just another false 9/winger. They just keep bringing in false 9s. And Havertz, false 9.
Yeah, I don't like him. Peter Bodefjord. I got it right there, Billy. Fjord, Alex, not Ford. Fjord.
That's what I said.
I don't care. I agree, Paul, all about Spurs' poor performance, not how good we are. Agree with Billy that it will calm down over time when we're permanently at the top. Thank you for your 65 Swedish krona, Peter. Much appreciated. Stiff says, on transfer show tonight, can we talk about Maxi's future? No. And the reason we're not talking about Maxi's future is because there isn't anything to talk about right now. I'm sick of these rumours saying, he's going here, there, and everywhere.
Newcastle.
He is back in Newcastle. However, it's not worth any discussion at the minute because we'll talk about it if something happens. But
although I might try and twist Paul's arm and do a show on the current squad, like depth-wise, transfers, contracts.
Yeah.
Because then we could talk about things like Manquillo and who still has a contract. Jamal Lewis still has a contract. Like there are things that do need to be discussed to a point.
Yep, absolutely. Jean says, honestly, love that they refunded because they got absolutely smashed. Shamrock says, we were crap last week, Paul. Do we deserve a refund? Well, exactly. I mean, Julie J says, I think if West Ham win the Conference League, Declan Rice may stay another year. I think if he goes, the improvement will be massive in Paqueta. The Crazy Brit says, still think Matoma would be a very good buy.
He's already at his peak, and he's going to cost an absolute arm and a leg.
Yeah, he is. Shamrock says, this is all fifth-generation warfare. They're trying to break our team's spirit. Retro says, even lads been really struggling lately, but a transfer show is always a must-watch. Don't sit alone. Open up. Speak to people, Retro. Don't struggle on your own, buddy. Money back as panic stations all the way, says Jan. I actually agree. I think it's crazy. Harold Dino says, Alex Scott from Bristol City, great player. We spoke about him before. Very, very good. But I think there's going to be a lot of people in for him in the summer. He certainly, I doubt highly, be staying at Bristol City.
He's got Manchester City written all over him, to be honest.
I don't think that'll be the right move for him, though. I really don't. Look what's happened to Calvin Phillips.
They'd probably send him straight back out on loan, I would imagine.
So I don't know what the point would be.
Hoarding talent, they all do.
Yeah.
To be fair, we might start doing that, so we can't knock it. We might get to a point where we just start hoarding talent. We've got 7 midfielders. There's another one. We'll just buy him as well. Just so it just means other teams can't have the talent.
Yeah, but if we start doing that, Alex, then we'll. We
probably will. We will come to that point. Not in the next 3 years.
Well, that's fine.
We'll get to a point.
But we won't talk about it then, will we? You know what I mean? It's it'd just be what we do. Spike, good evening. Paul says, I'm loving this season. How are the lads? Julie J says, McAllister on my wanted list along with Madison. Keith says, giving a hard kick to Everton's proverbial balls would be quite satisfying. It certainly would. KB, good evening to you. Hope you're well. Santos says, Carlos Alcaraz from Southampton for me. Can literally play anywhere in the midfield as well as lead the line, and he's only 20. Yeah, well, he fits the age bracket very nicely. But anyway, we come on to our first player of the night, and it is some of these I don't know, by the way. Alex just sent me a couple of names for the thumbnail. I don't know who he's putting up, but knowing him, he's gone for the, through the dictionary, thesaurus, the whole thing, trying to get names to bugger me up. So let's have a look at the first one.
15, love.
That's easy.
Ferdi Kadıoğlu.
There you go. That's all right.
Sounds like you're sniffing glue.
Sniffing glue. Right, go on, Alex.
So I'm really excited for this particular show because I love some of the guys we've got on this on the list today. We're actually Fenerbahce in Italy. That's not Italy. Turkey. Let's try that again. I've had a Tottenham.
Whoa! You're not skipping over that easy. You're not skipping over
myself. I've already. There you go. Turkey.
I mean, it's just.
We've got two players.
Can't wait for me Christmas Italy.
The Christmas Italy. That was a good one. We've got two players from Fenerbahce today, so you will see the other one. So this is the fullback / attacking midfielder variant. So I went back and watched half one of the Sevilla games. They played against Sevilla. Watched all of the highlights for that, and I've watched clips to a point. We only got linked recently with this guy. He's a fullback, and I've seen about 4 clips of him chipping the keeper from outside the box. This kid's quite tidy. I've seen a bunch of 30, 25-yard hits as well, similar to Jacob Murphy's shot, just about 5 yards further forward. It's like Manquillo with a lot more technical ability to a point. So only 23 years old. Was born in the Netherlands, has played a part of his career in the Netherlands, got his move to I was going to say Italy again. What is wrong with me? This is like my Dan Botman.
Hey, don't bring Dan Botman into it. It's not his fault either, you know.
The guy's moved to Turkey at 18 and has played several consistent seasons at a good level. And he's performing really well. So 2,400 minutes this season, 6 Europa League appearances. Let me go on my tab so I can scroll down. So I need to zoom out a teeny bit. There we go. So as you can see, hyper aggressive, lots of really, really, really healthy tackle numbers, extremely high progressive carries for a fullback. Shot creating actions is really, really healthy in the 78th percentile. Non-penalty XG as well. He contributes a lot, so he should have. He's decent at hitting a ball. He gets a shot pretty much every game. Receives the ball very high up, getting a couple of touches in the attacking penalty area every game, as well as receiving the ball very high up. So what does this qualify up? So very high up. Excludes passes from defending 40% of the pitch. So he's receiving the ball very, very high up. And if we compare to who he's playing similar to, we've got the 2 Roma wing-backs, so Spinazzola and Zalewski. So this is Mourinho's wing-backs at the moment, which are performing extremely well. You've got Balda, who's Barcelona, who's very, very tidy. Nuno Tavares has obviously gone over from Arsenal to Marseille. He's performing very well. So he's in good company here. He's performing at a decent level, considering he's in Turkey as well. So let's go over. Here he is. He looks a little bit older. He's growing a bit of a beard in this one. So let's just let's drop that down. So as you can see, left back.
Hang on. Go back to his photo again.
I think that's a picture of Alex, wasn't it?
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, I wish I had his wages. I'm not worth 15 million euros.
I don't think Ferdi's quiff's as big as Alex's, but it's getting there.
He's got the hair.
It's getting there.
He's got the hair. He's got the trampoline hair.
All right, let's go down. Let's skip over this bit. Right, so we'll ignore the fact that Batshuayi plays for them, and we'll So I don't want to do the Sevilla one first. Let's go down and see one of the more recent games. So this is why I think this is a really interesting sort of link for us. Scroll down and have a look. Playing a whatever this is, a 4-1-3-2. Cool. It is what it is. And we'll have a look at a nice lively heat map here. And we scroll down and we can see 9 out of 12 ground duels. He's not afraid to get stuck in. He's an absolute tank. Drawing a couple of fouls. And this is what makes it interesting for me. 106 touches with an extremely high pass accuracy. Attempting a lot of crosses, long balls. Who does this remind you of in our squad in terms of output? What does the statistics look like?
Trippier all over him, isn't it?
It looks like Trippier, doesn't it? So are we looking for another young fullback who is a lot more technically proficient, is comfortable at touching the ball 100 times a game, being a bit creative, has got a bit of strength, can get forward, be a bit more attacking. I like this. It's he plays like this a lot of the time. Let's go and have a look against him against Sevilla twice in the Europa League. So, a harder opponent. And if we scroll down, so he played in a back five in this one, is a bit more of a wing back, but you can see in the heat map, very, very involved, swapped sides a couple of times. Again, 5 out of 5 ground duels, 70 touches. So for a fullback, extremely involved, decent pass accuracy, considering it looks like he's tasked with being a bit more aggressive and creative. You can forgive him. That's still very, very high. A couple of key passes, crosses, long balls, big chances created, a couple of shots on target, dribbles. And this is against Sevilla in the Europa League. So no joke, as we saw what they did to Man United, but even though they're pants. So we might as well have a look at the reverse fixture just for consistency. I also love this guy's name, Jadon Oosterwolde. So Ferdi, Kadıoğlu, another wing back. This time, slightly different formation, still kind of tucking in as a little bit more of aggressive fullback, wing back even. 77 touches, super high. 90% pass accuracy, super high. Didn't get as many crosses as, completed, but he is the guy tasked with doing that. Wasn't getting as many ground duels. Again, he's 23. He might get better at that. 4 tackles, though. I think this kid seems really, really, really tidy. There he is. He looks even older. He's aging in each picture we look at.
Oh, he's got a centre part in there. Well, I mean,
he's literally Turkish Backstreet Boy right there. Shouldn't be too much of an issue transfer-wise. 9 caps for Turkey. That would make it quite straightforward. If we scroll down, he's also extremely well represented at international level, all the way through the Dutch national setup, from the under-16s all the way through to the under-21s, and then decided, sorry, I'm going to play for Turkey. Fair enough. It happens. We get that all the time with England players U-turning and going playing for their different nation. Contracted until 2026, so it is a little bit of a fat contract. But Transfermarkt seems to think he can play attacking midfield as well. To be fair, if anybody is curious, go and watch a highlight of this kid. I can see it. He's in and around the D all the time, pinging it from 25 yards, dinking it to the back post. He doesn't... He looks like he can play multiple positions. It's very, very interesting.
Well, he looks like a player to me. Yeah. I mean, I would think that we probably will be looking at a right back. Let's be honest. Kieran Trippier's getting no younger, so we will eventually be looking for somebody to step in. And I don't think, with the amount of games we'll be playing next season, that Trippier will be involved in every game. We need that understudy. Now, people will say, but Mankio's there, Emil Kraft's there.
But this is the point. It depends what competition we qualify for. I mentioned this last night. If we don't bottle it and we qualify for the Champions League, let's say we get Bayern and bloody Real Madrid in a group stage. So then we get a 2-week period where we've got to play Arsenal, Real Madrid, Man City. Like, we need a bit more depth. We need some guys in different positions that have got a bit more experience. And the fact that this kid has played so many times at international level, 9 caps for Turkey, and has got Europa League experience. And to be fair to him, Fenerbahce have been improving each season in Turkey. They've gone from 7th to 3rd to 2nd to 2nd. So he's in a team that's growing and improving each year, playing in European competition. They didn't quite make it into the Champions League. They got knocked out in the qualifying rounds. But this kid, when you look at the pedigree and the growth potential and compare him to other fullbacks like Jamal Lewis and Manquillo, I think it's evident that this kid, is a much safer bet if we're going to rotate against top opposition because we're in the Champions League.
Well, certainly for me, Colton, we don't have a Patreon page yet. That is in the mix. It's in the works. It's something that I am working on, but we don't have a Patreon. We do have membership on the channel, if that's what you're wondering. But if you're on iOS, you will have to go onto a desktop version of YouTube to find the join button. So just basically type into Google desktop YouTube and follow the links there. Go to Toon Review and you'll see the join button there. But we don't have Patreon or anything yet. Shamrock says, anyone love Jacob Murphy's face when he scored that second goal? We all did. A lot of people have got that as the profile picture now. Roberts says, get Lantern Jaws Kane in a black and white jersey to surpass Alan Shearer's record. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. You know, if Kane was playing for Newcastle and he broke Alan Shearer's record, he was a Geordie.
He doesn't suit our system anyway, does he? You don't get much of a press out of him.
No. Anyway, Jack, what do you think of Ferdi Kadıoğlu?
I think he's a very good fullback. And he looks like a very active fullback as well. Like, he can play all around. We definitely need depth next year, depending on which. I think we're going to be either if we, like Alex said, if we bottle, then Europa. But I doubt that at the minute. I think we'll get Champions League, and if that is the case, we get Champions League. We'll have a lot of we'll have midweek games pretty much throughout the season, depending on how far we go in the Europe competitions. And for that, we need depth. We can't be relying on the likes of Mankier and Kraft. And I do like Kraft, but he's just not good enough for Europe for Champions League level or
to be fair.
I like him. I think he's a good player. Kraft. He's really, really improved under Eddie Howe. But if we're going to face the likes of Man City and then next week the Real Madrid, I don't think Kraft can fill in for that spot.
Can I just counter that though? If we bottle it, because you said if we bottle it, we might. But let's not disrespect the Europa League. If we alternatively have got to play Marseille, Sevilla, Juventus in the Europa League, they're not going to be pushovers either. They're at a high level. They're a much higher level than the lower end of the Premier League. So because when teams go into the Champions League, sometimes they get dropped down, like the likes of Barcelona. They got dropped down into the Europa League this season. So then sort of squads will drop down. I don't want Jamal Lewis and Lascelles starting against like Juventus.
Yeah, exactly. So we need top quality depth.
Yeah, but Wes makes a good point here. Harrison Ashby, was he not brought in for that very same thing?
He's an up-and-coming right back.
You're on mute, Alex.
My bad. He's still very young though, and it also depends on the club's plans for Manquillo and Kraft. Is it one or the other, or are they both going to go? Who knows?
I don't think Kraft goes. I think Manquillo may go, but I just don't see us being in the market for a right back when essentially we need a left back.
Interesting. Ugly Hood Rat, thank you for your £2 super chat. He says first year in the Champions League should be third to get into Europa. There's still that option if we do come third in the Champions League group. Billy, what do you think about Ferdi?
He looks like a seamless transition from Trippier to him, isn't he? He's a younger version of him. And obviously with the experience or gained the nous that Trippier's got of positional play and whatever. Obviously that's his type of game. He's getting up the wing and getting crosses and that kind of thing in. I like that about him. And I just don't see us signing a right back. I'll be perfectly honest.
Interesting. I mean, look, he's obviously been linked, so the link has come from somewhere.
Unless he plays further up the pitch, like I said, earlier.
Yeah, which he can do. By the way, latest from the Premier League, Wolves have taken the lead at home to Crystal Palace with an Anderson own goal after 3 minutes. So that was a 7:30 kickoff, of course. Villa Fulham kicks off in 10 minutes. And then the big one, Leeds Leicester, is at 8 o'clock as well. That's a huge game from Elland Road tonight. Stiff Gator says Kraft is definitely Europa League level under Howe. Kraft is not up a tier UCL player, but neither is 90% of our squad. 90%?
I mean, Kraft's an international footballer, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Well, he is. Yeah, I mean,
he's no more.
They said 90% isn't at the Champions League standard.
To qualify for, you have to
teams that qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's some, let's be honest, there's some real gash in the Champions League early doors as well. Let's not forget that.
We don't have to have a squad to compete to win it. We just need to have a squad that can compete in the group stage and not lose every game 5-0. We'll get there.
Absolutely. David May and Jimmy Traore have both got Champions League winning medals.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Indeed. Foxy says, I think for now we have enough at right back. Trippier, Kraft, if he can return to a decent level. Ashby and even Manquillo as a third, fourth choice, I'm okay with. I don't think that Manquillo will be okay with that. I think he'll want to try and maybe at his stage in his career, you would expect he'll want to play some more games.
I've pulled up the group stages. So Victoria Pilsen, is that I'm pretty sure that's Czech Republic. Minus 19 goal difference, 6 losses in the group stage of the Champions League. Rangers, 6 losses, minus 20 goal difference. As long as we're not doing that, it's fine. Like, we don't have to be competing with Real Madrid and Bayern the first time we qualify. We just need to not lose all 6 games and somewhat represent the club fairly well. Like, all we need to do. Yeah. It's a stepping stone, really.
Clive says Jack likes that Ferdi because every photo has a different haircut.
It does, to be fair.
Yeah, he does.
Don't you talk?
Oh,
I was talking about Ferdi.
Dear. Jack's fired up. He's fired up. Would-be farmer says, greeting from the dentist's chair. Well, you're actually in the dentist's chair now? Christ.
You've got to get the dentist to subscribe. And the hygienist as well.
Indeed. Kraft has been injured for almost a year and he isn't young, so sell him, says Trolls. How old is Emil Kraft now? Is he about 29?
28 maybe? Yeah, let me go check.
I think when you suffer an injury like that, you're a bit harsh selling on the stress as soon as they come back to fitness. I think you've got.
He's 28 and he will have a year left on his contract this summer as well. So but he's on 55k a week. It's more than I thought.
Fuck him off then.
Manquillo is also 28. They're about the same age. Literally, there's about 100 days between them. Manquillo's on 35k a week. Again, 1 year left in the summer, so they will both have a year left going into the summer.
Foxy makes a good point. Sheriff didn't have a standout squad, and they hammered Real Madrid at the Bernabeu.
Very true.
Indeed. James is very confident that we're winning the Champions League next season.
We haven't qualified for it yet.
Yeah. Oh, root canal will be less painful than watching Leeds. Yeah, root canals are all right, man, as long as you're numbed up. You don't feel anything. Walker Peters is getting a lot of mentions in the chat tonight. Right, let's see who our next player is. Oh,
he doesn't have a picture.
Ghoulies.
Harder.
Why is it harder? Ghoulies.
I'll go for. He's Turkish as well. I'll go for Arda Güler.
So I think it's Arda Güler, like Thomas Güler. Like I think it's a
Müller and Güler.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So if Paul had been listening, yes, he's Turkish because they both play for Fenerbahce, the same as the previous guy. Sorry, Paul.
I wasn't listening.
So he doesn't have.
I was concentrating on doing the 30 other things I've got to do during the live stream, Alex. When I get the opportunity. But we'll pass over that. Just carry on yourself. In your own little screen there.
So there's a bunch of stuff online that this is like the Turkish Messi, and this is the next superstar for Turkey, and yada yada yada. Okay, he's pretty good. He doesn't have a picture yet in FBref, which is criminal, but he is rather good, and this will be an interesting one. So unfortunately, because he's not, apparently this isn't enough minutes because it should be. He doesn't have data, so I'm sorry we can't see any spiky green graphs. He's got 500 minutes in the Superliga, and he's got 6 games in the Europa League with 6 appearances. I'm a bit frustrated they don't have data for him yet. They're too busy telling us that progressive carries are back. Thank you. Where are the pressures, though? You never brought them back, did you? So 4 goals and 1 assist in the Turkish league on 500 minutes with 15 appearances is pretty ridiculous goal return for an 18-year-old. Let's be honest. He's only just turned 18, literally within the last 2 months. He's played a lot of these as a 17-year-old. 5'9", still pretty small. We might as well go on to his. Well, actually, let's look at his career so you can see. Not much to go on. Obviously, we've got more data for Ferdi, for Kadıoğlu. His teammate has played a little bit longer for Fenerbahce. So this kid's missed the 7th place finish and has skipped straight to the 3rd, second. So he's in a good place for him, but he is starting to play a lot more minutes. So there we go. We can put a face to the name. This is what he looks like. So,
do you know what? When he first popped up there, I thought that's Mesut Özil. But he's
it's funny you should say that. He gets comparisons to Özil and to Messi by probably Turkish fans generally, but still, we've got to respect it.
Can I just bring your attention to weaknesses, guys? None.
No.
No
Yeah.
outstanding weaknesses.
So, left-footed is a big key area of this. Where's the number 10? He's worn the number 25 as well, but he's wearing the number. So for a 17-year-old to have been handed the number 10 for Fenerbahce, I might as well skip ahead and out this now because it's relevant. He's got 2 caps for Turkey, which he was 17 2 months ago. So the fact he's been given the number 10 shirt, he's been called the Turkish Messi / new Ozil, and he's got 2 caps for his national team. We're on a good run so far. This is ticking all the boxes. I know we don't have data yet, and I apologise.
Well, I can guarantee that he's not going to cost 10.6 million euros either.
You never know. You never know.
Oh, Howie Alex.
Well, when you consider, if we scroll down and have a look at his agent, which is his family, so you never know.
Oh.
So he's doing a Jude Bellingham.
Yeah,
even worse, really.
Where Grandpa gets 30 million in cigars behind the back or something. So
or a few Turkish rugs or something,
So obviously he's been in a lot of these games that we've literally just viewed for his teammate. So he was in the lineups, but we shall show you. Dropped to 7.8 against Sevilla, which is pretty damn tidy.
7.8 from these guys though, Alex, is like a 9 elsewhere, really, isn't it?
Yeah, if you drop close to an 8 on SofaScore, that's kind of when we would give a 10 on the Toon review, pretty much. That is an extremely high rating. So let's go and have a look at what they got. You guys will probably know some of these players. Shalai is quite popular on games like FIFA and Football Manager. We've just looked at Kadıoğlu.
Can you just say his name again, Alex?
Is it not Shalai? Is that not how we say it?
Yeah, Shalai, yeah.
It's not. It's Shazlai.
Shalai.
It's Shazlai. I'm telling you, it's Shazlai. Dude,
where's the Z after the A, Paul?
It doesn't matter. It's Shazlai. I'm telling you now, it is Shazlai.
Where's the Z after the A?
You shut up, buckethead. Right? I'm telling you now. It's Shazlai.
Right, Paul. You are right, but that's just a different player. He also exists. It's just
no, it's him. I know his brother.
Anyway,
I have clicked on him. Oh, if I can scroll across. Am I on the right guy? I am on the right guy. There he is.
Oh, it's all right for people to go, Oosterwolde. Fantastic name. But I say the name properly and I get bollocked for it. I hate these transfer shows. I hate them.
So, this is why I think this is a really, really interesting transfer. Plays as an attacking midfielder / right wing. Makes me think this has got a lot of legs in terms of the transfer sort of rumour. Because Murphy, despite being brilliant, we know he loves his inverted wingers. This is a left-footed winger, right? But before I scroll down, let me just say he takes set pieces. He takes corners. He takes penalties. He takes free kicks. He's very good with a dead ball with a set piece. This is a competent set piece taker who is also left-footed, which is give us a completely different dynamic to what we literally just don't have that at the moment. Dan Burn is pretty much the only left-footed player unless Miggy starts. There's just no way, and it makes us so predictable. Oh, go away, adverts.
Is that porn?
I thought something else there, Alex.
What, on SofaScore?
Well, no, but I mean, Billy thought the same, but then Billy, I mean, I shouldn't really put myself the same thinking as Billy.
No. So let's have a look at the statistics for the Sevilla game. So again, freak. He's a freak. He tried 12 dribbles. Maxi tries like 5 or 6. This kid tried 12 and completed 7 of them. He's an alien. He is an alien. 90% pass accuracy on top of that, with 94 touches, is extremely high. And he's not weak. 16 ground duels. The kid was literally... Was he 17 at this point? No, he just turned 18. And he's literally winning 16 ground duels in the Europa League against Sevilla, who knocked out Manchester United. This kid's rather good. 4 fouls drawn, none given away. Really, really tidy, intelligent, good body position. He's using the ball really well, keeping it close to his feet, low center of gravity, winning his duels. Again, long balls, crosses. His dribbles are insane. He's left-footed, can play in good positions. 5 tackles, 1. This isn't a European competition. This isn't just in a Turkey League game. Like, this is pretty tidy. You can see he's dropping high ratings consistently, which is why I'm so disappointed we can't see some FBref values for him. You can see him here. You can see it pretty much looks like he is the guy. Like, you're 18, don't worry, lad, but we're just going to put you in the middle of our entire shape, and you're just going to do things because you are so good. I can't scroll across. There we go. So they've put the 18-year-old kid in the middle of the entire formation, and look at this heat map. He's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Again, 5 key passes, freakish. He's been given so much time on the ball. 4 crosses, 3 long balls, shots, dribble, 13. This kid's a joke. This kid is a joke. He's an absolute freak. I would sign this kid at all costs. I think he's going to be an absolute superstar.
Well, I'm starting to write some of these names down because I am about to download Football Manager 23.
Well, remember this face, guys. Remember this face, because this kid, the way he's performing, so it is possible he just falls off a cliff, but I don't think so. I think this kid,
his left ear sticks out a bit, doesn't it?
The performances this kid's putting in is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I think this is a must sign him right now, because this kid could play in the sort of positions like we're talking about, sort of an 8, a right-sided 8/right wing, improves the technical quality, can also take set pieces, is an additional left footer, and is young, and is internationally capped, and has Europa League experience. What box doesn't he tick? He ticks every single box.
He's a definite for me. He looks absolutely amazing. Billy, your thoughts on him?
Yeah, really impressed with them statistics, and for a young lad to be in the centre of that Fenerbahce team, and they're building a side around him. Yeah, it looks an awesome prospect who's doing the job now for them. So, yeah, I'm all in for this one.
I'm still not convinced 10.6 million, Jack. I think a player like that will cost a little bit more.
He looks like the next big thing. And I'm looking here, and I cannot wait to watch the highlights of him after this live stream, because after seeing all them stats by Alex, he looks like a beast. And he does look like the next big thing. And I really, really hope we sign him, because I know we're not going to be the only one in for him, because I bet there's been a few links for other big clubs, but I really hope we sign this guy, because he looks like, best off signing now, because in the future, and if you don't fall off a cliff, he's going to be worth millions. There's millions.
Tons of clips of him. You can go and watch him. There's tons of stuff of his youth games where he's wearing like the number 25 shirt, and he does some freakish stuff in that. Do you remember how Anthony was performing in the Netherlands before he came to England? He was just bending them in from 30 yards just on a regular basis. That's what this kid's doing. That's what he was doing before he took the step up.
Yeah, maybe get Emery to have a word with him. Somebody contact Emery out there and have a word with him. But Billy, you remember? Do you remember the Turkish international sides of the late 80s and early 90s, Billy? How bad they were.
Awful.
They were in the same bracket as the San Marinos, weren't they? Because
we used to get them every time, didn't we? And we used to get 8 past them. I remember us beating them 9-0 at Wembley one year.
9-0, Wembley,
85.
And then, it's been a dramatic rise for Turkish football, I tell you, because when I was youngster watching Turkey, it was literally San Marino.
I think the immigration's helped a lot, because they do get a lot of
we're
Dutch
going there,
and German stuff.
Okay, we're going there.
In a positive influence. There's a positive influence on this.
Well, it's not like us to be controversial, is it?
You do get a lot of sort of Turkish dual nationality go and play for things like Germany. I've seen this firsthand. Obviously, the Polish team gets shafted so much. Miroslav Klose, Podolski, they're all Polish, but they all went to play for Germany. So you get the same with Turkey, where a lot of their superstars have gone and played for the German national team. But now,
benefit of Poland, you got Matty Cash.
That was such a weird conversion. That was. But you've got a lot of Dutch and German heritage players who do have Turkish heritage in their family, are wanting to go and play for Turkey, and the Turkish league is improving. You look at some of the lineups; they're not bad. It's not a bad.
They had a golden generation in their late 90s, early 2000s. When Galatasaray were flying high and kicking shit out of Man United, literally on the pitch and off it as well.
Off it as well. Yeah, absolutely.
But they had some cracking players. The one that went to play Blackburn.
Yeah, they did.
Before, I can't think what his name is. But obviously you had Emre and people like that. And
well, there was a Turkish midfielder for Black. What was it? It began with a T. Two guy. Yeah, he was a decent player as well.
Yeah, hell of a player.
Jack, you're in trouble. Off our resident historian, Mr. Tom Lynch, saying, Jack, it's Z, not Z.
Arrest me.
Oh.
Get down
Paul
on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Paul said, take out the trash. Lol, wow, buckethead, says Paul. Well, yeah, we're always nice to each other on this channel.
Did you say buckethead? I thought you said duckhead.
No, I said buckethead. Simply because that's how someone sticks a bucket on your head and it cuts around it, and then you've got your hair.
Bowl last time. I thought it was a bowl,
no.
so I'm getting caught up in how many words you say about my hair.
Yeah, well, start listening. Rachel even says, yes, Jack, you're not an American lad. It's Zed. Well, Rachel, you've had a bloody Castoria there.
Yeah, that is the what?
How is that?
It's supposed to say. Oh no, she is right. No, I've had a Castoria. Move on.
You've confused me there.
Shut up. Get on with it. Would-be farmer. I'm going all ballistic here. She loves kickball. Going to talk to her in becoming a Ditchburn Daisy. I'm not sure what that's about. Basically, an alternative to Madison. Would love to see him with us. Gary and Phil Neville's dad is called Neville. Thank you for that, Stu.
He's not an alternative to Madison either. This kid is a bit different.
Yeah. Jock, thank you for your £3 super chat, just for saying Buckethead. Well, there you go. Arani Granny says he looks so young, Paul might hire him to work on the channel. I hate Arani Granny. Matt says, just have to get this out there. Spurs will refund the ticket for Sunday, but at the same time deducted loyalty points for the people who travelled.
Well, that's a good thing. He wants to have loads of support for Tottenham hot shits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit Spurs.
Yeah. That's entirely right. Right.
Go on, Paul, say
it. Why did I put this comment up? Güler seems like the next. Him. That's how I know him. I call him.
Most people call him the Wi-Fi password.
Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia.
No, I'm right. You're wrong. Be quiet.
Your opinion.
Crazy Brit says, is it me or does anyone else think we need an experienced goalkeeper to back up Pope? Can't see Dubravka staying.
I think it depends on what Dubravka wants to do, doesn't it? Because I think he's still contracted. So
I know. I'd rather keep Karius, me. I really would. I'd keep Karius, but Karius, I think, is going to Italy. But so are we in the Champions League, everybody. Hey! I just had to get that in there. Nobody else found that funny. All right. No, what's the matter with you three tonight?
We might not get Italian too.
That joke. I'd work some all right, Paul.
We'll probably end up with bloody Bohemians in Ireland, Celtic.
Yeah, I know that's probably right. That's what I said last week. Yeah. Seattle Geordie, thank you for your $5 super chat. He says, hey, Jack, you can come over here.
No, thank you.
Why wouldn't you want to go and see Seattle Geordie? What's the matter with Seattle, Jack? Come on. It's now to do with Brexit this time. So come on.
Seattle Sounders.
Yeah. And the Seattle Kraken as well in the NHL. I still don't understand why they call them.
I'm proud to be British.
Doesn't mean you can't ever leave on holiday.
I mean, it's like we've got our own Nigel Farage on this channel, isn't it? I mean, he keeps coming out with Brexit stuff, and now he's having to dig at the Americans. When he gets invited to Seattle, somebody kindly super chats the channel, and you know, he's absolutely rotten to them. I mean, I'm very sorry, Seattle Geordie, but you know, I don't know what to say.
I've been to America; it's nice, but I've been to Seattle.
Yeah, I dig you. You can't dig out of the hole you're in now, Jack. But Seattle Geordie, I would love to know why the new NHL team over there decided to call themselves Seattle Kraken. I mean, I know the Kraken is that big sort of monster thing, but really, the names that Seattle could have come up with, and they come up with Kraken. Not for me. Kazim Richards says Foxy is still playing in Turkey with that's
easy.
Karagumruk.
Yeah,
hey, that was half decent.
Well, it won't be pronounced like that, will it? It'll be something a rook or something like a rook on the end. So yeah, this is a challenge tonight. I hate these shows. Rachel says, bless you. Thanks, Rach. Let's just call him Sheila. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, we don't have to mention the first 25 letters of his name, do we? We can't just call him Kravatskelia.
Just call him Sheila.
Where are you getting Shelia from? It's IE.
I mean, some people just call him KK, to be fair.
I call him
I'm sorry.
KK,
No,
yeah.
there's only one KK. Thank you.
I know,
Billy.
that's why I've never
Thank
mentioned
you.
that, because we have a KK and half. That's the problem. But a lot of other fan bases are calling him that.
I wonder if his middle name begins with K as well. Then we could
Billy!
Oh no.
Down in Alabama. Let's not even go there.
It's not get cancelled.
I was accused of being one of them once, but I was just a wizard between the sheets.
Oh my God! Woo! Anyway, Alex, please tell me we've got another player. Oh, we have, and it's Raphinha. I know how to say his name. Alex, please take over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and stay enthusiastic because Raphinha is a brilliant player, but I think I've made my mind up now. I was very complimentary of Mateus França and Andre Santos and what was the other one? Angelo Gabriel as well. All these little young Brazilians, superstars that we looked at in the last couple of seasons. And I think I'm going to add Güler onto that list. I absolutely want him at all costs. I think he's a freak. And go and watch some of his highlights after the show because he's just mental. But an alternative.
Alex, I do need to stop you there because we've got a long-time viewer who has made a first-time super chat. A £10 super chat from Solo Strikes Back. He says, hello, gents, long-time viewer, doing a great job and enjoy the content. If we get Champions League, what are the chances we will sign either of Maddison, Kane, Rice or Bellingham? I don't think we'll get the last three. Certainly Maddison is an option. Sorry, carry on, Alex.
I think we might get one of those on the list.
No,
possibly. If the club decides, right, we want one English marquee signing, I think they might push for one of those. Anyway, Raphinha. So this is the same position, right wing, left-footed. Arguably could play other positions, but not really. I'd say he's a winger. We obviously know him quite well from his time at Leeds. He was excellent. He's done pretty decent at Barcelona, to be fair. I think he's got a tough time from the press out there. He had a little bit of a difficult streak. He started brilliantly when he first arrived, went through a bit of a tough period, and now he's kind of out of that. To be fair to him, 6 goals, 5 assists in only 600 minutes is very, very, very healthy. And when you actually look at his expected goals, so his XG and his XAG, his expected assists, he's really, really underperforming, unfortunately. He should be on 8 goals. He should be on 7 assists. So he should have an extra 4 goal contributions. So he's just getting a little bit unlucky. But still, 11 goal contributions is extremely healthy. 2 assists in the Champions League, a goal in the Europa League with only 156 minutes. He is peak age, Brazilian, left-footed right winger, play in front of Miggy or as a backup, a rotation, whatever we're going to call it. He's ready-made, peak age, is the same nationality as Bruno and Joe Linton. So, thematically, it just kind of works. So if Barcelona have got to do books balancing, he is on €240,000 a week, which is almost double what our top earner is on. But I'm sure exceptions could be made if, they're going to be sort of held by the ghoulies a little bit if they're struggling financially. So we might have a bit of a power play there. If we offer them a bit more than someone else, or we can work out a good deal, it's still very possible, I think. So let's actually show you the meat and veg. That's that. There it is. That's all the green.
Ghoulies and meat and veg. Christ.
I know. Well, I mean, look at it. It's amazing. Look at it. It's incredible. And when you look at his stats comparisons, you've got Solly March up there, who's having the season of his career at the moment. Saka as well, probably his best season to date in his career. Nabre is incredible.
I'd just like to bring your attention to number 8.
I mean, he's been really solid ever since he left us.
Funny that, isn't it?
So was Florian Thauvin.
Waste of a good signing he was.
So, yeah, absolutely freakish. Take-ons is a little bit low, but progressive carries is really, really high. I say a little bit low. It's not low. It's better than average. I'm just being harsh because everything else is through the roof. It's fine. I don't know even know why I said that. That was stupid. Pass completion accuracy is a little bit lower at 70.8%, but again, he's that adventurous player that's going to try the more difficult balls. So why not? Everything is self-explanatory. High shot volume, it's over 3 shots per 90. Really, really high shot creating accurate actions at close to 5. He's receiving the ball nice and high up. He's energetic in the defensive phase as well. He's getting stuck in with blocks, clearances, interceptions, whilst he's also making tackles. We've seen him do it in the Premier League as well. It's not like this isn't a proven player. We've seen him do it in La Liga and the Premier League. He's keeping great company here with his similar players. And if we go and have a look, here he is. Let's push that. Oh, it's just 45 million. Just buy the Turkish kid, honestly. A little bit weird that his ball control is a weakness.
I love the way it came up there. Thank you for your contribution.
As if it
for
makes
lowering a player's value. That's brilliant. Jesus Christ.
I think ball control as a weakness is a bit harsh. I don't remember that being as much of an issue when I saw him in the Premier League. I think they've been a bit harsh on him there. I think they've done him a little bit dirty. But let's go and have a look at some of his games. Dropped to 6.7 against Real Madrid. Let's go and have a look at how he did against one of the best teams in the world. So we can see out on the right wing for Barcelona in a 4-3-3. If we scroll across, nice and lively. Swapped over to the left on occasion as well. We can see he only completed 1 dribble. Few crosses and long balls he tried. Okay with the ground duels. Was fouled 3 times. Drew 3 fouls, which was nice. It's okay. It's an okay performance against arguably what is probably the best team on the planet. You know, they're the current Champions League holders. It's fine. If you can put up these kinds of performances against Real Madrid, not a problem. So let's have a look at one of his better games. He scored against Valencia in a 1-0 win. If you scroll down in a nice 4. Oh, they got play sent off. Naughty Araujo. 4-3-3. He got taken off as well. Much livelier heat map in this game. You can see where he was doing all the damage with that left foot as well, playing very much like an inverted winger. This is exactly how Miggy plays because he'll let Trippier do this bit. 0.41 XG on his own. High expected assists. Yes.
Can you just look at some of those names for Valencia, Alex? I know we're going a bit off topic, but
Arturo, Lino.
Well, number 15. I mean, who the hell is he? The goalkeeper,
Marmardash.
I would just call him Mustache.
I've got myself trapped on this page. Let me get rid of the video. There we go.
You got a Casey advert.
Right. Right. Well, we'll finish up. We can look at the funny names in a second. 3 successful dribbles. 72 touches, nice and high. 4 key passes is really high. What didn't complete as many crosses as we'd like, but so did the other guy. It happens. He's trying a lot of creative things. Part of it does, in terms of crossing, you've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the player as well, because just because you've seen 1 out of 7 completed crosses, you don't know how many of those were because the players were running into the box too late or they were in the wrong position. It's not always the crosser's fault necessarily, but it is more often than not. So yeah, it's decided to regenerate the page. Never mind. Still, we might as well move on from there. Raphinha, we've said he's Brazilian. Although I've just found out he's also got Italian citizenship, which I did not know that. That's interesting. 16 caps for Brazil with 5 goals. He's got a big boy agent. So again, it's going to be a high profile deal with a lot of moving parts to it, with a lot of money. But we do have the upper hand unless somebody like Chelsea decides to just be annoying again and just for the sake of it, just take him because we're a threat in the league. I don't know. But it is a gettable player. What else was I going to say? So contract expires 2027. So they have got a good bargaining position in terms of his peak age. He's firing. He's playing well. He's got a long-term contract, but Barcelona are struggling a little bit. So, I don't know. It's a.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure on Raphinha myself because sometimes when I saw him play for Leeds, I think, is he going to be a bit like another Maxi? You know what I mean?
I think he's a little bit more disciplined than Maxi.
Right.
And I think obviously he's proven it. He's proven he can do it in a Barcelona team, and he's contributing and being efficient against teams like Real Madrid. Whereas, and this is what a lot of people say to me as a critique, and I agree with you, we haven't seen Maxi do it at the elite level yet. We've not seen Maxi play for France. We've not seen Maxi play in the Champions League. Fair enough. It's all speculation whether he can step up. I don't know. I hope he can. I'm not sure. Whereas Raphinha has done that. He's played for Brazil a bunch of times. He's been to a World Cup. He's playing in the Champions League. He's doing well against Real Madrid and these big teams. So, he's got to get a big tick for that, surely.
Later scores, Villa 1, Fulham 0. That's after 22 minutes. The scorer for Villa, Tyrone Mings. And Leicester have taken the lead at Leeds United in the first 7 minutes of the game. And the goal scorer there is Yuri Tielemans.
What a goal.
Well, he always scores a spectacular, doesn't he?
Outside the box and just drives it top left. Whoa,
outside the box?
Tyrone Mings?
I think he
means Yuri Tielemans.
Yeah.
VAR Tielemans, anyway.
Are they?
Oh, it's going VAR.
Oh, there's a surprise.
Tyrone Mings free kick for 35 yards, curved around the wall into the top right corner.
You haven't
Kepa
me
had
on,
no
Billy.
chance. Not Kepa, it's not his name, is it? Burnt Leno had no chance. Dive full length.
You are having me on.
Probably followed one of his arse from 2 inches out, to be perfectly honest.
Jimmy, thank you very much for your $20 super chat, buddy. He says, great show. Pretty sure the ticketing system at St. James's Park is better than Ticketmaster. Twitter is blown up with people who had trouble buying tickets here. Scandalous, as Paul would say. Yes, but Jimmy, I hear you've got your tickets for the game in Atlanta, so nice one, buddy. Speaking of that, Clive says, Paul, I'm just wondering, are you going to be allowed to go to the Champions League away games, as you're not allowed to go to the American tournament? Clive, it is not that I am not allowed. It was a mutual decision, and I am going away on holiday with my family. Thank you. Anyway, Billy, Raphinha, what do you reckon?
I'll take him all day long.
You
Day long. Yeah. If we can get some sort of finance package together, the Leicester score's been disallowed, by the way.
Okay.
I'll take him all day long. In a poor league side, he's shone like a beacon. In the previous season, he was outstanding in a good performing league side. So Premier League experience is brilliant. He's gone to Barcelona, not had the chances. But whenever I've seen him play for him, he's been really good. So he did okay in the World Cup as well when he came on. So I'd take him.
Yeah. Jack?
I think he's a class player. We were linked to him in the summer, and I wanted to sign him really badly. And I think he's a class player. I'll take him all day long. And it's good to have I know we've got a right winger with another left footer, but I think he's a class player. I'll take him all day.
Cool. Stiff Gators says the Chelsea Raiders will win at next year's Todd Super Bowl. Jock says Seattle is nice. I've been there. Sean says the San Siro being knocked down. It's not anymore at the minute because I was watching a program a couple of weeks ago on this, and there's some rule in Italy stating about new buildings and things like that. It's very, very difficult to get planning permission to build a new stadium. So they're having a lot of trouble trying to work something out over there. Ashley 80 says, do the Seattle team have a manager called Phil?
Phil, yeah, I've got it. I've got it in the end.
There you go. Their fans are known as the Crackheads.
Sounds like Everton.
Arturo says, Paul, you get angry like my American bully. Says Arturo, the angriest man in the whole of Europe, who just looks at the camera and gets angry. Boreham Wood.
Yeah.
Nice
Adam
one.
Campbell.
Cool.
Hey.
Just call him Alan for F's sake, says Andrew.
Hello.
Alan! Crazy Brit says Billy's on form tonight. Billy's always on form. Julie J says, I want what you lot are having. You really don't. You really don't, Julie J. You really don't. Stiff says Raphinha has Premier League experience. One trump card he has over Diaby. That's an interesting comparison, isn't it? Diaby and Raphinha.
But Diaby also put up a 25 goal contribution season, which is like.
Afrique says Raphinha just doesn't work with the kind of team Eddie Howe is building. Well,
based on what?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, if you think that's fair, but explain why. You know, he presses well. His defensive statistics aren't bad. Left-footed right winger, could play in Miggy's position. Good amount of goal contributions. Shoots well. Carries the ball well. What is he missing to not play well in this Eddie Howe team? I'm failing to see it. I mean, I might be wrong, but you know, just let us know.
God forbid that, Alex. Michael Owen says, "Did Alex just say he wants ghoulies?"
Not yours, Michael. Nobody wants yours.
Definitely.
That's based on if you are the professional footballer, Michael Owen. If you're just called Michael and that's a coincidence, I do apologise.
I really think
if you're the professional footballer, then
to be fair, Alex, I think it's a coincidence, and you've just insulted another one of our viewers.
I gave him a buy on that, you know.
Yeah. Joanne O'Neill, welcome to Members Club, Joanne. Thank you very much for signing up and being part of the Toon Review family. Thank you for your support. Crazy Brit says, I think David Raya would be excellent number 2 to Pope. He's not going to come as number 2, though. He wouldn't come as number 2. Foxy says, what's Raphinha's wages at Barca? I'm sure it's crazy high. Good player, but do we change the wage structure for him? I think he's on about 200 grand a week, I think.
He went to the fridge when we put that up. 240,000 euros. So about double Trippier's at the moment. Just over double Trippier's wage.
No, I think there's some of the wage structure will change anyway, because they'll have to reward the players for this season.
Potentially. I mean, there's a lot of murmurings that Bruno's already got a contract kind of on the table for him. I think it might just depend on what we qualify for as to what contracts are given, possibly.
Yep. Archer, good evening, my friend. Haven't seen you for a while. Good evening, lads. Top 4 is our players. I would like to see Osimhen, Maddison, Diaby, Ferland Mendy, Pulisic, Dumfries, Jude Bellingham, Big Don, Diot, Upper Meccano, Neves, and Raphinha. That is some shopping list there. I'll tell you something. If we pull off that,
cost you 100 million alone.
Jesus. I think if that is our shopping list for the summer, we pull that off, Archer. I'll tell you what, I'll be pulling myself off. Never mind anything else.
We're not going to get Osimhen either. It's not going to happen.
No,
because it's been a crowdfund.
One of the dumb, it's not dumb. One of the poorly run teams is just going to go, we just put 130 million in the pot. It's going to be Chelsea or a Man United or somebody. Somebody's just going to drop a ridiculous amount of cash. Whether it gets them in trouble or not, they don't seem to care. They're just going to drop. If somebody bids 90, somebody else is going to bid 130.
Well, Jan says offer them ASM. To Barca. Of course, Jan is a massive fan of ASM, as we know. Stephen says, little Jackie's got the giggles. Yeah, you did get the giggles before, Jack, didn't you?
It was a good joke about Billy.
Well, I mean, he's here all week, you know. Julie J says, talk of the ghoulies, meat and veg and no sign of chippers. I know. I'm listening and not watching. Look at his amazing meat and veg, says Ian.
I forgot. There's people going out on Spotify. I do apologise.
Yeah, there will. Yes. To all those who don't know, this goes out as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and all of the good podcast providers. Round about half an hour after each live show is finished. Apart from the watch-alongs, we don't put the watch-alongs on because
I need to remember that so I can actually, instead of just. So I need to talk through numbers instead of just obviously displaying them, because if people are just listening. So if you are just listening, I do apologise. I will make more of an effort to talk through numbers when we look at stats.
Seattle Jolly says, Seattle won the first Stanley Cup with the Seattle Metropolitans. Yes, Kraken is the giant octopus. They were nearly called the Totems. Would you wear a Kraken shirt? I know you're a New York Rangers fan.
That's what it looks like.
New York Rangers fan would not wear Kraken shirt. I'm sorry.
I ate octopus in a tapas bar once, and I ordered it, and the waiter said that'll be 4.5 hours. I said 4.5 hours. He says, "Yeah, we boil them alive, and they keep turning the gas off."
Terrible. Do you understand that one, Jack? You're looking a bit confused.
Huh? No, I was clocked out. Can you repeat that joke, please?
No, it's all right. You've got terrible hair. Right. Ian Spoons says it's an insult refunding the fans as if we're shite and not good enough to beat them. I agree. I fully agree with that. Jimmy Jones, thank you for another 199. He says FA Youth Cup final, Arsenal 1, West Ham 3 at half time.
Good for
wow. Absolutely. Well absolutely. Paul, Billy, Jack, and Jack look like they're in a physics lesson. So in other words, he's saying that Alex looks like a physics teacher. Well, he does with a quiff on, definitely. But it's just the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Right, that is it for the transfer show tonight, guys. 3 very, very good players that we've looked at tonight. Now, we will have more transfer shows coming up because Alex is starting to compile quite a list. But obviously, we'll save them for the next coming weeks as the excitement builds towards the summer. If you have enjoyed the show, don't forget, guys, please hit the like button. It is so important to us that you do that. I can't stress it enough. And also, if you're new to the channel, come and join this crazy bunch of rabble on the Toon Review. It is free to do so. Help us get towards 19,000, which we are so close to doing. And of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. You can as well follow us on all our socials on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We also have a Discord page, which is fantastic if you want to interact with all the Toon Review gang. It is brilliant on there. And it's great. It's smashing great. But listen, thank you for the super chatters and new members. Thank you for your company tonight, everybody. And a big thank you to the mods, as usual, for their fantastic work behind the scenes. Thank you to Jack, Billy, and Alex. And we will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, back at our normal start time for the Everton preview. Alex will be there with his graphics. Daisy will be kicking around somewhere, I'm sure. Jack will have the same haircut, and Billy will have more jokes for us all. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your what night are we? Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. Good night.
With the lads.